will be shown Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock right here on TV2.
Lights on 30 blue, 22 white, 3 wide. Satellite is up, and we've got a switch.
Got it.
Buffalo, this remote, stand by.
Mic check.
Roll up and tape. Stand by and out.
This is the Sabres station. WGRZ TV2, Buffalo.
The Sabres take on the Islanders for the first time this season, and the Sabres hope the momentum of a 6-2 win over Quebec comes right with them to Long Island.
Tonight from the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, Long Island, the Buffalo Sabres meet the New York Islanders. This portion of Buffalo Sabres hockey is brought to you by Carling O'Keefe Sports, bringing the sports world home to you. And by your Metro Chevy dealers. Discover the new world of today's Chevy at your Metro Chevrolet dealers. Dealers you can lean on.
They said we'd gone too far. They said it would never fly. They said it couldn't be done. But we showed them the way. The news is out. Now people everywhere can enjoy easy cooling 473 mil tall boys in packs of 12 at a special price. Lightweight 12 packs of Miller, OV, Miller Lite, Carlsberg Light, and Carlsberg. The evidence stacks up. The case goes before the people, and the people win.
Good evening from the Nassau County Coliseum. Tonight, the Buffalo Sabres meet the New York Islanders for the first time this season. Hello again, everyone. Ed Kilgore along with Jim Lawrence and Ted Darling. And Ted, I guess you could say the Islanders have kind of, at least in the view of their fans, have fallen on tough times. They're hovering around that 500 mark.
Yes, they're no longer the dynasty of the past. As you mentioned, they're playing 500 hockey right now. They're in third in their division, and they only have a 1-point lead over the New York Rangers. They have a 2-point lead over Pittsburgh and only 5 points over the New Jersey Devils. A lot of people have been saying, what about Gilbert? He's going to hit the 500 mark pretty soon, but hold on. Mike Bossy could reach the 500 goal mark before Gilbert. Now, Perreault is 6 away. Bossy is 7 away. And Mike Bossy can become the player to reach the 500 mark the fastest ever in the NHL.
Jim, the Sabres, coming off a very solid 6-2 win over the Quebec Nordiques Sunday night, have made a couple changes in the lineup.
A couple of changes. Paul Gardner's up from the Rochester Americans. He's an experienced player. He's had a lot of NHL experience. Over 400 points there. You see him on the left. 201 goals, 201 assists. And on the other side, Jacques Cloutier. And he is starting in goal tonight. And we just look down there now. There was a report that Barrasso was hurt in the warm-ups. And we have to assume that that has been true. And Cloutier will start. Now in Rochester, he played in 12 games, won 8, lost 2, and tied 2. A 2.94 goals against average. And he's a capable goaltender. He's coming off a very serious injury that he suffered a year ago. He's rehabilitated himself, and he says that he's almost 100%.
Well, he will certainly be tested tonight. Let's go down to the ice now for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
From the Nassau Coliseum tonight, and there is Jacques Cloutier, and just prior The Sabres leaving the ice. Apparently Tom Barrasso was injured, Jim, and we had a report that Barrasso was helped off the ice. As you look at Billy Smith at the other end of the ice surface, and he is starting in goal for the New York Islanders. As you can see there, 3.93 goals against average. Against the Sabres, 1-9, lost 18 and tied 6. So Jacques Cloutier, who was just called up today, Tom Barrasso being injured in the warm-up, but Barrasso, of course, is on the bench, and he could go in if he has to. Perhaps we'll get an injury report later on Tom Barrasso. The officials tonight, the referee is Dan Emerelli, and the linesman Ray Scampanello and Dan McCourt. And play is underway here at the Nassau Coliseum. Loose puck at center, recovered by Andreychuk. Steps now into the Islander zone, trying to move in on goal. Lost it to Denis Potvin. It's clear now, gloved by Foligno into the air. Bouncing puck, and Billy Smith leaves it for Denis Potvin. Round to the right side, and the puck rolls back into the Buffalo zone. And it's kind of unusual, Jim, to see Jacques Cloutier back in goal for Buffalo.
Well, a big surprise. Needless to say, tonight they had originally scheduled Tom Barrasso to start in goal for Buffalo, but that's not the case. As you mentioned, he was injured.
Here's Andreychuk in over the line. Left it there. Foligno the drive, and he hit the side of the net. Comes it back in front to Ruff. The shot, and his shot glanced off this side of the net. Now back in behind the Islander net. Islanders recover. It's cleared. Gillies misses the pass. Slides into the Buffalo zone to Cloutier. Playing it up now for Foligno. Islanders make a player change. No score. Opening minute of the first period. Morrow at center sends it right back into the Buffalo zone. Cloutier deflecting it into the corner. Now Mike Ramsey gets it behind the net. Tonelli comes up with it, a pass back to the line. Intercepted now by Hamel. Left it there. Don Lever at center with Hughes in the right. Send it in off the glass into the Islanders zone. It's cleared to the corner. Now the Islanders in control. Tonelli can't clear it. It's tipped away by Lever. Back now to Verta at his own blue line. Swings it over to Playfair. Playfair moving to center, backhanded to the Islander line. Stopped there. Here comes Hamel in over the blue line on that right side against Morrow. Here's the pass in front, but Lever was tied up and knocked down by Diduck, who's just called up from the American Hockey League for this game tonight. Up and left side for Tonelli, off the boards into the Buffalo zone.
That's something you don't see. A couple of moments ago, John Tonelli had an opportunity to take out Gilles Hamel at that Islander blue line, and he let him off the hook. Usually in a situation like that, Tonelli would run you right into the boards.
Here's the pass now to Boyd. Winds up with the drive, and Cloutier the save. Glove down. Here comes Tucker. His pass up on the left side. 2-5 for Anderson. Tip back into the Buffalo zone. Housley works it over now to Gilbert Perreault. Head to Mikael Anderson at center. Now to the Islander line on that right side. Stopping. Tips it into the corner now for Tucker. Rolls it in behind the net. Now Tucker comes up with it, a pass in front. Anderson couldn't get it, and the puck slides all the way back into the Buffalo zone. Mike Ramsey will go back to get it now for the Buffalo Sabres, trying to leave it there. Housley picks it off. He starts back up off the boards, but it's kept in now by LaFontaine into the corner. They keep it in. Here's a chance now at the side of the net, but unable to move it in front was Duane Sutter, and the puck is cleared back into the Islanders zone. Denis Potvin will go back after it, and finally we get a whistle here in the first period. There's no score. We'll return to the Coliseum after this message.
They've given you the advantage and only moments to make it count. There's no second best for you in the game you play or the beer you choose.
That's why you just say O-V for that great tasting beer. O-V, O-V, oh yeah, you just say O-V.
We've played almost 3 minutes into the first period. Still no score. Face-off at Buffalo territory in the left of goaltender Jacques Cloutier. He's called up from Rochester. Darren Pupa being sent down to get some playing time at Rochester. Here's a long shot there by Boutilier, and it's gloved.
In other games tonight, Philadelphia is at New Jersey, Calgary at Pittsburgh, Washington at Vancouver, Detroit at Minnesota, Winnipeg visits St. Louis.
I said a couple of moments ago on the faceoff, that was not a very good faceoff. The linesman dropping the puck, and Lindy Ruff was halfway to the point before the puck even hit the ice. It's the linesman's job to make sure everybody's in the proper position, and if they're not, then the whistle should have been blown. Buffalo got away with it.
Alberta up for Ruff, ahead to Andreychuk to the Islander line on the right side. The long drive, gloved by Billy Smith, scoops it behind the net. Clark Gillies missed it. Here's Foligno with a slap shot that goes off the glass and back into the Buffalo zone. Verta will go back after it. He takes over now. Starts it back up the ice. Now gives it to Foligno. Head to Lindy Ruff, who had 4 goals the other night against the Quebec Nordiques. It comes over to Verta. Verta winds up with a long drive. Deflects in behind the Islander net. Here's Andrechuk trying to flip it over to Foligno. Stopped by Denis Potvin. Now the pass to Clark Gillies. He works it over the blue line, but unable to control it is Paul Boutilier. And they get a whistle at the Islander blue line. And also called up as you look at Boutilier, Jim, but we'll get to Paul Gardner in a moment.
Boutilier, one of the fine defensemen of the New York Islanders from Sydney, Nova Scotia. He's always been a very good offensive player. Never had any problems scoring points in junior. But he's really worked on his defensive game over the last couple of years for the Islanders. Mike Ramsey scored a big goal the other night, Ted, against the Quebec Nordique on the power play. And he has been really playing well for the Sabres.
The Sabres unable to connect too much in the power play recently. They did score 3 of their 6 goals in the power play against Quebec. Paul Gardner has been called up along with Jacques Cloutier, and that's one thing I think you're going to see him on tonight, and that is on the power play, should the Sabres get into that situation. Here's Tucker now, working it over the line into the Islanders' zone. Billy Smith leaving it there. Morrow around the board that comes back to the line. Housley keeping it in. He tried to tip it in, but it's blocked. The Islanders down that left side. Gilbert couldn't get anywhere. Picked up by Bob Bourne. Here he comes and over the Buffalo line. Trying to work in on goal in the backhand. Checked by Anderson. Anderson kicks at it in the corner. Here's Gilbert getting it back to the right point. Diduck winds up with a shot. A weak one kicked away easily by Cloutier. Over the line to Peril. At center back into the Islander zone against Morrow. There's the high drive off the left shoulder of Smith. Didn't see the rebound. It goes to the corner boards. Tucker's in there. Gilbert gets it around the boards. Here's Housley spinning quickly. Lets a shot. Anderson left it for Tucker. The drive. Smith the save on Tucker. Peril gets it back to the point now to Ramsey with a long shot. Knocked away by Smith. 15-20 left to play in the first period. Still no score. As Bourne tips it on into the Buffalo zone. And Cloutier will play it now for Peril. Now the Sabres come back on the attack. Hamel on the left side winds up for the long drive. Smith makes the save. Into the corner after it goes Randy Boyd. Back into the lineup tonight after an injury. Now the Islanders on the attack. Tonelli could not get it. Lost it to Don Lever. Now tipped away by Boyd. Up to the Buffalo blue line. In over the line. He is stopped by Verta and Hughes. Hamel turns. Now gives it to Verta at center. To the Islander line on the left side. He clears it high into the air. Hamel moves in. Here's Lever waiting for it along with Tonelli. Tonelli pushes it ahead, gives it to Boyd. Right wing pass went off the skate of Mike Bossy.
Well, you see that line of Donnie Lever, Hughes, and Gilles Hamel on the one side playing against the Islanders' big line of Trottier along with Tonelli and Mike Bossy. That's a checking line for Buffalo against a scoring line for the Islanders.
Lever back with Hamel with a shot, and he wrapped that one off the ankle of Randy Boyd. Now the Islanders chop it around the boards at the back into the Buffalo zone. There will be no icing. Housley will go back after it. Buffalo makes a change. Andrechuk steps on along with Ruff and Foligno. Here comes Housley quickly into the Islander zone. Moving to the far side. Winds up with the drive. Smith the save. The rebound into the corner. Housley gets it back nicely to. And it's broken up. Here comes Sutter. Duane Sutter right in on goal. Stopped by Cloutier with Ramsey hanging on to Sutter from behind. And now Foligno at the line. Ahead to Ruff at center. Back to the Islander line as Jacques Cloutier coming up big a moment ago. There's the shot kicked away by Smith, and the Islanders come back down the right side. Number 34. That's Mark Hamway. Third in behind the Buffalo net. Loose puck at the side. They score! Pat LaFontaine, goal number 16, surprising the Sabres, and it's 1-0 Islanders.
Now that pass came out of nowhere from behind the net. It was Duane Sutter to the left of Jacques Cloutier, who put it out in front as we watched the play develop. A good hit by Mike Ramsey. And here comes LaFontaine. He just throws it in front of the net. And you see the puck, oh, it bounced off Lindy Ruff's skate behind the net right onto the stick of LaFontaine. And he didn't miss, put it behind a very surprised Jacques Cloutier. And the Islanders take a 1-0 lead. Pat LaFontaine, probably, Ted, the most popular player born in the United States ever to play in the NHL.
It's interesting, that's his 16th goal of the year. He's yet to score one in the power play.
Now, he was a great junior, and of course, probably the most well-known member of the 1984 USA Olympic team.
With the score, the Islanders 1, the Sabres nothing. We'll return to the Coliseum after this message.
Don't settle for second best. Go with #1 at the Chevy year-end sales drive. Chevrolet is the best-selling car and truck in America. And your Chevrolet dealer is out to stay #1 for the 15th year in a row. We're out to sell 220,000 cars and trucks before the end of the year. Don't settle for second best. And here's more good news.
Chevy announces low 8.5% financing on any new Cavalier. Go with #1. See your Chevy dealer now.
Watch the play. This is a breakaway by Duane Sutter. But watch the play by Mike Ramsey. He does not give up on this, and he's going to force Sutter to hurry it. He bothers him from behind, and that enabled Cloutier to make the stop. The puck looked as if it may even have rolled off the stick of Duane Sutter. But that was just before LaFontaine ended up beating Cloutier to give the Islanders that 1-0 lead.
Well, Pittsburgh has a 2-0 lead over Calgary. Wow, in the first period of that game. The Penguins coming on strong lately. Face-off now following that goal. Bossy back at his own blue line. Working it over now to Trottier. He dropped it back. Gives it to Boutilier. Slams it in off the boards into the Buffalo zone. Bossy centers it. Recovered by Verta. Up on the right side to Hughes at center. Gives it to Lever into the Islanders zone. Winds up with the drive. He scores! Don Lever with a blistering slap shot as Lever gets his second goal of the season for the Buffalo Sabres, and he has tied it up just like that.
Now that was just a great shot, but watch Potvin and Boutilier just back in too far. It is a 3-on-2, but they give Lever lots of time, and boy, that's the ideal place to shoot the puck from the center of the ice. As you see the play breakout 3-on-2, and you see, look how much room Lever has. He just moves right in, keeps going, and just drills a beautiful shot by Smith on the glove side.
The veteran Don Lever, called up from Rochester last week to fill in for some of the injured, picks up his second goal of the season for Buffalo and has tied the game as the Sabres get right back into it. Trottier into the corner. Watched in there by Lever. Picked out by Tonelli. Turns to get away from Verta. Here's Playfair. Around now for Hamel. Hamel left it for Don Lever. Up to the blue line. He skates to center. Gives it to Pat Hughes into the Islander zone. Hughes looking back. Carries it now with a backhand drive. Knocked away by Smith. Up the left side, Trottier tried to get to it. Beaten to the puck by Housley, who sends it back into the Islanders zone. Billy Smith leaving it for Kenny Morrow, #6. 1-1 tie. 12:20 to go. Here's Morrow at center. Sending it off the boards into the Buffalo zone to Cloutier. Clears it around the board. Giving it to Hamel. Up it comes now to Paul Gardner. He's on for his first shift, wearing number 28. Now the pass comes to the line to Gillies. He cleared it to center. Anderson comes up with it. Comes back into the Buffalo zone. Trying to work his way by two Islanders. Was unable to. And it's cleared now by Brent Sutter into the Buffalo zone. Housley behind the net. Up on the left wing boards for Anderson. Ahead now. Intercepted by Gillies.
No, Anderson made a bad play in that one. He had Gardner just a couple of feet away from him and tried to make the difficult pass across the ice to Gilbert Perreault. That's something he will learn, though, as he gets a little more experience.
A two-line pass. They caught it in the offside. We're tied at 1-1. By the way, you can go to the phone right now. Reserve tickets for any of the Sabres' next 10 home games. The ticket office personnel are standing by to take your orders through the end of tonight's game. And you can charge your tickets to MasterCard, Visa, or American Express. Among the next 10 opponents, the Bruins this Sunday. That's December the 22nd. The Rangers, December the 26th. Islanders, December the 29th. The Bruins, December the 31st. Sabres tickets also on sale at Sabres Memorial Auditorium. Ticket office, Saberland, Rochester's War Memorial Auditorium. Face-off inside the Buffalo blue line. We are tied at 1-1. Duane Sutter giving the Islanders a 1-0 lead, but Don Lever came right back to tie it up at 1. Sabres have had 8 shots on goal. The Islanders have had 3. There's the long pass. Slides right through to Billy Smith. To the corner. Back it comes to Lindy Ruff. Off the boards. Ruff gets it back now to the blue line. Picking it off. Housley with the shot. It's deflected off the glass. Foligno slaps at it. Off the glove of Smith. Unable to clear it. Still kept inside the line. Now tipped over the Islander blue line, where Ruff turns back, but he had it knocked off his stick by LaFontaine. Mike Ramsey clears it behind the net. Waiting for it. Housley into the corner. He put it right in front of his own net, right to the goal crease, as a matter of fact. Now Ruff's pass over to Foligno on the right wing. Slaps it in off Morrow. Now Tucker picks it up. He turns in the boards. Buffalo making a change. Foligno, quick shot. Smith makes the save on Mike Foligno. With the score, the Islanders won. Sabres won. We'll return to the Coliseum after this message.
You fought for every yard. Now there's only one left. There's no second best for you in the game you play or the beer you choose.
That's why you just say OB for that great taste in beer. OB, OB, oh yeah. You just say OB.
Buffalo with 10 shots on goal. The New York Islanders with 3. As we look at Mike Foligno had a great opportunity, and Billy Smith comes up with a fine stop. You see 3 Islanders on the one side of the ice. They are not playing very well in their own zone, Ted. And Buffalo, despite the fact out shooting them 10-3, it's still a 1-1 hockey game, but they have to start putting the puck into the net when they have the opportunity.
Now the puck comes back into the Islanders zone to center now. Gilbert up to the Buffalo line. Moves it over to Bob Bourne. Here he goes right into the backhand, but Cloutier reached out for the stick. Blocked it, then lost his stick. The stick is sitting in the face-off circle to the left of the Buffalo net. Playfair trying to work it. The Islanders see that, and they're trying to get control of the puck and get it back in front as Cloutier has lost his stick on the play.
Well, Cloutier, you can hear him yelling up here, Ted. He was trying to tell his defensemen, in particular Larry Playfair and Henry Verta, that he didn't have a goal stick, and Verta or Playfair didn't realize it. And John Tucker made a smart play. He just took his stick and handed it to Cloutier as we look at the shots on goal. And Bobby Bourne, the one thing that Bourne can do, boy, he can really skate. You see him just go right around Henry Verta, and what a play by Cloutier with using that big goal stick to check the puck off the stick of Bourne.
Out of town, New Jersey has a 4-0 lead over the Flyers, and Pittsburgh leads Calgary 2-0, both those games in the first period.
Face off of the Buffalo zone into the left of Cloutier. On the draw, won by the Islanders. Bossy spinning, let the shot go, and he fired it wide. Verta to the corner, backhanding it. Now here's Bossy keeping it in, the pass in front. Comes up on the right side, Foligno. Winds up with the long drive that goes wide. Trottier on the far side, rink wide pass. Gives it to Tonelli. In over the line. Bossy in the backhand. Chop that one wide. Now the Islanders keep it in. Trottier into the corner. The pass back to Tonelli. Tonelli on the far boards. Winding up. Fakes the shot. The pass to Bossy in front. Tied up by Housley. Couldn't get the shot. Bossy slips it behind the net to Tonelli. Tonelli into the corner now. Still with it. Trying to get the shot. Here's a drive, but it went off. Don Lever and into the corner boards. Buffalo having problems now defensively. Finally, Hamel comes away with it for Buffalo. Steps to center. We're in a 1-1 tie. Into the Islanders zone. Let the shot go wide off the glass. Hamel one-hands it right in front of the net. It's picked off by Housley. Then he lost it. Comes back to the blue line. Lever keeping it in against Trottier. Trottier ahead to Boyd. The long shot, and Cloutier deflecting that into the corner glass. Andrechuk gets it up to Mike Ramsey. Ahead over the line to Lindy Ruff. Has Foligno with him. Andrechuk trailing. They come into the Islanders zone with the shot that deflects over the glass and into the crowd. 9:03 left to play here in this first period. You look at Denis Potvin, Jim. The next point for Potvin will be his 916th. One more than Bobby Orr's league record for most points by a defenseman. But of course, Potvin has played many more years.
Well, that he has. And of course, the word around the island here is the fact that the Islanders have been struggling as of late. But I think what happens, Ted, when you have somebody going for a record like that, everybody's trying to get the puck to them, and it really takes away your concentration from the game. And I think that really has affected the Islanders in the last 3 or 4 games he's gone. I think 3 games without scoring that point. So it has affected the Islanders.
Potvin also 6 goals away from Orr's record of 270 in the National Hockey League. Lever getting that Buffalo goal from Hughes and Verta at 6:55. 20 seconds after the Islanders, LaFontaine had given Buffalo and the Islanders a 1-0 lead. Now the puck at the Islander line comes back to center. Boutilier. It's cleared by Denis Potvin. Islanders clearing it in. Playfair now for Ruff. Backhanding it to center, where it's off the glove of Foligno. He bumps in there with Boutilier, but it's sent on in wide of the Islander net, and they whistle it down. 1-1. Drop to the back. Anderson with the drive, and Billy Smith made the save. Now the puck comes back in behind the net. Morrow It's cut off by Perro. Into the corner. He's got Anderson in front. Gets it back to Mike Ramsey. There's the screen shot. Went off the skate. Perro kicks at it to the side of the Islander net. But it's recovered by number 24, Makela. Couldn't get anywhere. Now it's back in behind the net. Into the corner. Now picking it off, number 34. That's Mark Hamway. Steps to center ice. Shoots it off the glass. Back into the Buffalo zone. It was missed by Cloutier. Anderson let it go. Now Dykstra runs into his check. Here's Duane Sutter. Lost it. Mikael Anderson has control for Buffalo. Moving it down the right wing boards. Cleared it over the line. Number 12, Duane Sutter. Taken to the boards by Tucker. Loose puck. Tucker comes up with it. Skates to the Islander line. Trying to get it by. Going in the backhand. The drive. And Smith makes the save. Now the puck back in behind the net. Buffalo making a player change. Duane Sutter with the pass to the line. Mike Bossy clearing it up to Trottier to the Buffalo blue line. He sends it on into Sabres territory. Jacques Cloutier, who started in goal for Buffalo tonight, called up from Rochester today. Darren Pupa is sent to the Americans. And Tom Barrasso apparently was injured in the warm-up, so Cloutier had to start. Here comes Hamel giving it to Lever on the backhand. The shot deflected. And Billy Smith prone on his back. Must have it underneath him. Yes, he does.
Now, that was another great stop by Billy Smith. That's the 13th shot he's handled here in the opening period. A good play by Donnie Lever. A good hard backhand pass in front of the net. And it was Sean McKenna who was driving. You see him just get a stick on it. And Billy Smith just out in front to cut down the angle and make sure that McKenna did not tip the puck up over top of him. Here's another save, this time off the stick of Mikael Anderson. In the last 3 or 4 games, Ted, he's still looking for his first goal, but he has been getting numerous opportunities. And we have another whistle right off the draw in the Islanders zone.
And McKenna had a chance there, stopped by Billy Smith. McKenna, Don Lever, and Hamel. And you look at Sean McKenna coming into this game tonight with only 4 goals, 9 assists. He had 20 goals in the 65 games that he played last year. Face-off into the left of the Islander net. On the draw, back it comes to Verta. Winds up with a long shot. Smith the save, the rebound. He had to knock it away to the far side. Gives it to Bossy. He sends away Trottier at center. Out of the Buffalo line, sliding it right onto the stick of Hughes. His pass intercepted by Bossy. Bossy trying to move in on goal. Still has it. Gets it back. There's the shot by Boyd. He scores! Randy Boyd, his first goal of the season. The Islanders go back into the lead of 2-1.
Now that was an unfortunate play for Pat Hughes. As he tried to pass the puck up the middle, it was intercepted by Bossy. And you see Bossy feed Boyd. And Cloutier looked as if he was leaning to his right. And that puck went back the other way. But here's Bossy just picking off that pass by Hughes. Some good stick handling. And Boyd beats Cloutier from about 35 to 40 feet.
I wonder whether or not Tonelli. I saw Tonelli put the stick down. Whether or not they'll change it, we'll have to wait and see. But Boyd gets credit for the goal. And it appears as though we have a call, a penalty coming up to the Islanders. Clark Gillies will return. When we come back, it'll be Buffalo on the power play. Gillies has gone for hooking at the 13:51 mark. Buffalo going to the power play. Gillies, he's only played in 16 games this year, Jim. Then you look at Bob Nystrom. He's only played in 7. Bob Bourne has played in just 14. And they, of course, with the strength of the Islanders years ago, and they were winning Stanley Cups. Face off in the Islanders zone to the right. Buffalo in the power play. On the draw now. It's cleared around the boards. Cut off by Perro, but cleared by the Islanders. Denis Potvin into the Buffalo zone where Cloutier leads it for Housley. Islanders have a 2-1 lead. 5:55 to go. Now Perro leading the attack for Buffalo to the Islander line. Giving it to Diduck. Back it comes to Housley. Housley moving in with the shot. Hit the side of the net. Back into the corner. Denis Potvin comes up with it. Gloved down by Housley with a good play. Can he keep it in? He does. Back of the line. In now for Perro. Polino's in front. Diduck at the side of the net. Back to Housley. Housley works it over to Ruff. Ruff into the corner. Trying to get it back. Intercepted. And the Islanders coming back with the number 21. That's Brent Sutter. Up into the Buffalo zone, but it's an offside call. And one of the many Sutter brothers in the National Hockey League. It's just hard to keep track of them, Jim.
Well, there's 6 altogether as you look at number 21, Brent Sutter. What a year he had last season. 42 goals, 60 assists, 102 points. And many hockey experts, or so-called hockey experts, feel he's the best of the Sutter brothers, but I'm sure you're going to get a lot of arguments around the National Hockey League.
Face off over the Buffalo blue line. Comes back to Verta. Gives it to Housley. Sabres with 21 players on this road trip. Bill Height made the trip, but he was unable to play tonight, still being bothered by that groin injury. Now Housley working it into the corner, gives it to Foligno. Foligno's got Ruff in front. He knocked it around to the left point. Buffalo still on the power play for 55 seconds. Verta gets it back to Housley. Housley along the line. Now the pass in front. Foligno cannot get to it. And Bourne backhands it into the Buffalo zone.
A couple of moments ago, Gerald Diduck, just an outstanding defensive play. As Foligno had the puck to the left of Billy Smith. He had Lindy Ruff standing in front of the net, and Diduck just forced him to make a bad play. He wanted to get the puck to Ruff, but Diduck took that away from him. Good defensive play.
29 seconds left in the Buffalo power play. Diduck moves into the corner, and he clears it by Mike Ramsey right to the Buffalo zone, with Verta coming up with it, and the penalty killing unit making a change for the Islanders. Here's Verta giving it to Mike Ramsey into the Islander with a long drive, and he blasted that one just wide of the far post. Bourne gets it around, but Cal Anderson cuts it off. Here's a pass now. It's broken up as Gardner tried to feed it in front. Islanders come back. Trottier to the line with Bossy. Trottier into the corner, trying to get away from Mike Ramsey. Great move, gives it to Bossy. He scores! Mike Bossy has tied Gilbert Perreault on the goal-scoring list with 494 goals. Both Bossy and Perreault now just 6 away from the coveted 500 mark, and they are the only 2 active players right now.
Now this play again is made by Bryan Trottier. You're going to see, watch Mike Ramsey with a shot at him. He just unable to take him out of the play, and this is where Bossy is so good. Just that quick shot in front of the net, and before you know it, it's on the net. Cloutier gets a piece of it, but it goes back in behind him. Mike Bossy, 8 consecutive years he has scored 50 or more goals. That is a record in the National Hockey League.
And as I mentioned a moment ago, he has tied Gilbert Perreault, both with 494 goals, as both of them head towards the 500 mark. Only 10 other players in National Hockey League history have hit the 500 goal mark. Bossy will do it the quickest of any of them. Now here's Duane Sutter. There's the pass. LaFontaine into the Buffalo zone, into the corner. Lever gets it behind the net. 3-1. The Islanders open up a 2-goal lead with 3:37 remaining here in the first period. Now LaFontaine off the boards to a breaking Duane Sutter. Cloutier plays it behind the net, into the corner. Now Dykstra moves in, bumps with Mark Hamway. Dykstra comes up with it. Cleared off the board to the back into the Islanders zone with 3:15 to go here in this first period. Islanders go back now with Potvin carrying it back. Bossy, his 20th of the season. Here goes Foligno right in goal. He shoots, he scores! Mike Foligno! And the Sabres get right back in it with 3:04 to go. Big key goal for the Buffalo Sabres late here in the first period.
Oh, it really is a big key goal for Buffalo. They're out shooting the Islanders 15-6. And yet you look up on the scoreboard, the Islanders with a 3-1 lead. And the Islanders, they've been having some problems. You see Potvin giving that puck away. And Foligno just pulls Billy Smith out of position and puts it in behind him. It looked as if that hit on Potvin trying to move the puck up the middle. One of the Sabres got a stick on it, and it deflected right to Mike Foligno, and he didn't miss.
Foligno gets his 14th of the year. Sabres back in at 3-2 with 2:53 to go. Play fair with a long shot. Smith knocks that one into the corner. Cleared up off the glass to center. Hughes just stepped onto the ice. Now feeds it over to Verta. Now Verta giving it to Playfair. Clearing it in wide of the Islander net. Morrow will go back after it. 16:56 time of the goal. Unassisted by Mike Foligno. Diduck into the corner. Lost it. Here's a pass in front. Hughes didn't see it. Deflects back over the Islander blue line. Down the left side comes Tonelli into the Buffalo zone. He is stopped by Housley. Loose puck cleared. Trottier comes up with the left. Here goes Bossy again in and goal with the shot. Good sliding save by Mike Ramsey. Stepped in front of it. Now the pass over to Hughes. Hughes backhanding it over the blue line. Well, Hughes and Tonelli, and the linesman stepped in quickly. Looked like Tonelli want to take a shot at Hughes. We'll return to the Coliseum of Long Island in just a moment, with the Islanders leading by 3-2.
The Islanders on the power play, Ted, as Hughes goes for slashing, but here's another opportunity for Bossy. Boy, he is so smooth, and watch how quick he gets this shot away. This hits the right leg of Mike Ramsey. Good defensive play by Mike Ramsey on Bossy.
Islanders on the power play. Denis Potvin with an opportunity here to pick up 916 points. His 916th. Should he be able to pick up a goal or assist on this power play? Now Cloutier playing it around the boards. Here's Gillies in there trying to keep it in. Islanders on the power play. Denis Potvin with the shot. The rebound to the far side, and Ruff plays it off the boards. Now right into the Buffalo bench area on the far side. With 1:28 left in the penalty to Hughes, 1:41 to go. Lindy Ruff, 4 goals the other night against the Nordiques.
That was one of those nights, Ted, that every once in a while that a player will experience, where just everything you touch goes in the net. And that's what happened to Lindy. He was in the right place at the right time, and everything worked out well for him. But just overall, Buffalo against Quebec the other night, I think, Ted, first time in a long time that they really played a good solid 60 minutes.
Only one other player in the Buffalo Sabres history has scored 4 goals in a game. Richard Martin did it 4 times. Now Gillies, back it comes now to the blue line. There's the shot. Cloutier the save, and he gathers that in. Speaking of Richard Martin scoring 4 times in 4 games, you'd almost think that Gilbert Perreault had done it once, but he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. That surprised me too. Of course, you would expect Martin to do that. But here's another look at. Look in front of the net. Buffalo with this very poor coverage. You see Sutter with an opportunity with Cloutier down, but really Cloutier made a good play on that as he forced Sutter to do something he really didn't want to do. Sutter would have liked the goaltender just to stay back in the net, but Cloutier came out to challenge him and forced him to go wide and lose the puck eventually.
1:20 left to play in the first period. 1:07 to go in the Islanders power play. 3-2 they lead. Face off into the right of Cloutier. It comes into the corner. Now behind the net, Playfair will try to clear it. Tonelli takes him down to the ice, and it is whistled down. The face off will be into the left of the Buffalo net.
You know, John Tonelli, well, you can't help but like the way he plays hockey, and I think maybe the greatest compliment that any athlete could receive as we look at Al Arbour on that Islander bench. But is when people compare you to other people. Like, I mean, you hear scouts now and general managers talking around the league maybe about a junior player, and they say, well, he's a John Tonelli kind of a player. And
yeah,
you immediately know what they're talking about. You know that he's determined and he never stops working.
On the draw, back it comes now to the line, working it over to Potvin at the left point. Now back in it goes to Bossy. Islanders on the power play. Bossy still with it to the far side, taking a whack at it. Tonelli missed it. Now Tonelli in front to Bossy. The shot went off the leg of Mike Ramsey. At Hamel, deflected back to center ice. Jonsoon.
Yeah, they're going to have to start keying on Bossy a little bit more in their own zone. My goodness, it's like a shooting gallery when he's on the ice. Just no one is picking him up, and you just can't let somebody like him get loose like he is.
38 seconds left in the period. The puck again is cleared back into the Islanders zone. 20 seconds to go. Here in the power play for the Islanders. Bossy in over the line. Getting it in now to the corner boards. Tonelli moves it after it. He gives it to Trottier. Loose puck at the side of the net. And Foligno comes up with it. 20 seconds left in the period. Cleared back into the Islanders zone. But a big goal by Mike Foligno, as you mentioned, Jim, with the fact they go to the dressing room perhaps down 1 goal instead of 2. Now Jonsoon plays it on the left side. LaFontaine in over the line. Knocked it into the corner, cleared by Verta for Playfair, runs into his check. Duane Sutter trying to move it back. As the horn goes, the first period is over here at the Nassau Coliseum of Long Island. As the Sabres had 17 shots on goaltender Billy Smith. The Islanders had a total of 8 on goaltender Jacques Cloutier. And a Merry Christmas to everybody. Santa Claus is here taking a night off for the 25th. And we'll return the Nassau Coliseum in just a moment with the score. The New York Islanders 3, the Buffalo Sabres 2. It's set in goal for the Buffalo Sabres. Housley back after it, carries it in behind the net. There's the pass up now at center for Lindy Ruff. Left it there for Andrechuk into the Islanders zone. The shot deflected wide. Andrechuk going in. Smith tips it to the corner. Ramsey on the far boards with Ruff in front. A high pass knocked out by Andrechuk. Sends it back in behind the Islander net. Foligno trying to move it in front. Loose puck. Potvin plays it to Clark Gillies on the far boards. He's watched by Mike Ramsey. Denis Potvin comes away with it for the Islanders. He is stopped by Ruff. Gillies picks it up. Here he comes in over the line now, winding up with the shot, but off the leg of Andreychuk. Gillies into the corner, centers it, comes off the boards where it's recovered by Ruff. Back with Foligno and Andreychuk. 3-on-2 situation for Buffalo. Foligno fakes the shot into the corner. He puts it to the side of the net, deflects in behind the net. Here now is Andreychuk, sends it to an open corner. Tonelli moves in with Playfair. They bump. Morrow's there. Lindy Ruff. And they whistle it down. That will force a face-off. The Islanders zone to the left in the opening minutes of the second period. Lindy Ruff, 13 goals on the season after that 4-goal performance the other night, heading for his best season ever. His best goal production, 16 goals in 79 games.
Of course, he started the year, Ted, if my memory serves me right, playing defense, or at least at training camp, and there was some speculation about whether Schoenfeld would play him on defense or forward, but obviously he's decided that he's going to play him at left wing, and Ruff has certainly responded.
On the draw in the Islanders zone, Morrow into the corner. Trottier recovers it for New York. Stops in behind that net. Islanders with a 1-goal lead. Intercepted. Quick shot by Hughes. Hughes with the pass deflected by Lever. It comes back to Hamel along the boards. Tonelli. Here's Hamel. He's got it. Looks back. Gets it. Lever. The shot. Didn't get a good drive away. But off the boards and on the back of the net. Now Tonelli has it for the Islanders. It's intercepted by Hughes. This line doing a great job. Here's Hughes leaving it now for Lever. Lever with a shot. The save. Lever moves into the corner. Sends it back in behind the net. Tonelli with the pass, intercepted again. Hamel, this line doing a fine job as the Islanders are unable to clear it.
Well, that's 3 times they've given the puck away in their own zone, and you'd think with Bossy, Tonelli, and Trottier on the ice, they would not make mistakes like that.
Trottier sends it in behind the Buffalo net. Hamel clears it back to center and into the Islanders zone. Paul Cyr, Rick Sealing, Dave Fentis did not make this trip to the Big Apple for these 2 games. Sealing with a groin injury. Paul Cyr with a groin injury. Dave Fentis with a back sprain. Height did make the trip, but he is not in the lineup tonight. Still recovering from that groin injury that he has. Anderson leaves it just inside the line. Housley, but it comes over now. Picked up by Hamway. Here he comes down the right side to the Buffalo line. Moving in with Sutter, the long drive. Cloutier makes the save. Steered behind the net by Mike Ramsey. Back to the left point, the long shot that goes wide. Cloutier was tripped up now, lost his stick. Gets help. It's Housley. Gets it back to him. Anderson's pass that goes behind. Tucker into the Islanders zone. Billy Smith plays it to the far boards. Here's Tucker going in after it. Working it back now to Housley. Into the corner. Perreault trying to center it. He's bumped in there by Boyd. Gets help. Tucker sends it behind the net. Recovered by Jonsoon. Around now to Mark Hamway. And it's Mike Ramsey in deep to keep it in. Perreault moves into the corner. Turns to get away from Boyd. Still has it. Boyd grabbing him by the arm. Tucker going in after it. Behind the net for Anderson. Tipped away by Jonsoon. Left point. Mike Ramsey keeping it in. Here's Perreault at the side of the net. Boyd slaps it around for number 12, Duane Sutter. Unable to clear it against Housley. Now finally it comes over the blue line. Jonsoon has Hamway. There's the pass. Broken up at the Buffalo line. Comes back now to the Islander blue line. 3-2 Sabre Islanders lead, rather.
You see Buffalo playing very, very well in the Islanders zone, and what they're doing, they're sending 2 men in. They have 1 man up high to back check, and the defense is pinching, and it's really worked for him up to this point.
Housley in over the line. Buffalo now making a player change. A pass that goes off the ankle and into the corner. Gillies clearing it. Now Andreychuk trying to move it in front to Ruff. He is stopped. They battle for it. Foligno's in there. Denis Potvin. Foligno comes up with it, trying to get away. Gillies grabbing him. Now Smith has lost his goal. He's lost his goal. Stick out in front of the drive. And Andreychuk fired it wide. And they're all jammed in front of the net, and Smith had been caught out.
Well, he's getting too old to bend over, Ted. He had a couple of chances to clear that puck with that big waffle glove and just couldn't seem to bend down far enough.
Now the pass back at center. Here's Playfair giving it to Dykstra, trying to get it by Gillies. Lost it, and back with it comes Brent Sutter with the pass into the Buffalo zone. Cloutier plays it behind the net onto the stick of Gillies. He gets it in front. It's broken up. Now McKenna darts quickly back against Morrow. In over the line. The slap shot. Smith the save. The rebound. Andreychuk moving in after it. One hands it to the side of the net. Here's Andreychuk behind the net out in front to Perreault. Couldn't get the shot. Breaking quickly down the left side. Tonelli. Ramsey to cut him off. There's Tonelli's shot. Cloutier makes the save. Sprawls gets the rebound into the corner. McKenna back into the corner. It's kicked at. Housley. Now for McKenna. Can't clear it. Morrow keeping it in. It's into the corner. Pass in behind the net. Tonelli giving it now. There's the drive by Diduck. It's still kept inside the Buffalo line. Tonelli gets it back to Diduck again. Here's Diduck. Shot. Cloutier the save. The rebound. He scores! Flatley has given the Islanders a 4-2 lead. Wow, what a difference in the play. One end for a while, then the other end, Jim.
No, that's for sure. Buffalo playing very, very well in the Islander end, but not in their own end of the rink. But that was simply a matter of not being in the right position to take the point man, because in that particular flurry, on 2 occasions, that right point man was wide open for the New York Islanders. And it was Flatley, after a good stop by Jacques Cloutier, who picked up the rebound and fired it home.
And it's 4-2. Islanders lead with 14:44 left to play in the second period. Dykstra keeping it in for Buffalo. In off the corner boards. Hughes going in with a shot. Hit the side of the net. The rebound. Recovered by Boyd. And here he comes. Trying to lead the attack for the Islanders at center. Shoots it in off the boards. Cloutier plays it away from Mike Bossy. Trottier taken to the boards by Dykstra. Trottier gets up. Still has it. One hands it in front of the net. It is tipped away and back over the blue line. Jonsoon goes back after it now for the Islanders. Giving it to Trottier. Up for Bossy. Off the boards. Cloutier will go to the corner. He plays it away from Bossy again. Trottier is in there to keep it in. Bossy at the side of the net. Tries to get away from Playfair. Front now to Trottier. The shot goes right over top of the Buffalo net. And Playfair backhanding it to the line. Tipped away to center. Jonsoon backs up deep into his own zone. Works it on the boards. Lever missed it. Now recovered by Bossy. Slides it through the legs of Lever to Boyd. Intercepted by Playfair. Hughes now gives it to Lever. In over the line. Winds up with the drive. It went off the ankle of Boyd. Hughes into the corner. He dropped it back to the blue line. Intercepted in Trottier with Bossy on his far right. Into the Buffalo zone. Jonsoon breaks towards the net. Here's Jonsoon. The shot. He scores! Tomas Jonsoon. He gets his 6th goal of the season. The Islanders have gone into a 5-2 lead.
And Ted, Buffalo just did not react to this play at all. I mean, this is just a simple drop pass to Bossy, but he moved the puck over to Jonsoon so quickly. And I think that threw everybody off on the Sabres. Now watch the play to Bossy, and he doesn't waste any time immediately throwing it to Jonsoon. Jonsoon has a problem controlling it and then just fires it right between the legs of Cloutier. But Cloutier was, I think, surprised by that quick pass of Bossy. And it looks as if we're going to get a goaltender change. Tom Barrasso appears to be coming in net for Buffalo.
Mike Foligno going over to console Jacques Cloutier. And it was Tom Barrasso, who is originally scheduled to play in tonight's game, but he was injured in the warm-up. And apparently he has recovered enough to now take over from Jacques Cloutier. But boy, that's kind of tough on Jacques Cloutier, Jim. And I think he was called up today from Rochester, and I really don't think he thought, of course, that he was going to start in goal. So he really, I guess you have to prepare yourself, and something that he wasn't able to do.
No, that's right. Of course, in his own zone, though, he wasn't getting a lot of help either. You can certainly say maybe on the last goal by Jonsoon that perhaps he should have been able to stop it. But then again, let's give some credit to Mike Bossy with just a quick pass to Jonsoon. And sometimes it's difficult for a goaltender to react, and Cloutier just unable to react on that particular goal. But the Islanders have scored some good, clean goals tonight. But as you mentioned, Ted, yes, it is a difficult situation. There's no question about that when you're not prepared, and particularly when you're being called up from the minors and then expected to step right in and play.
Darren Pupa being sent down to Rochester, and he'll get plenty of playing time down there. That's what General Manager Scotty Bowman would like him to do, get some playing time. And that's where he has gone to Rochester. Now the puck back into the Islanders zone. Cleared into the Buffalo zone. LaFontaine going after it. There's no icing called. Tucker around the boards. Islanders have opened up a 3-goal lead. Anderson down the right wing into the Islanders zone. Check from behind, but he still has control of it. He gets it back in behind the net. Here's Tucker now. Trying to look for somebody. Gets it off the goal stick of Billy Smith. And it's pumped over the boards, over the glass, and into the crowd by Paul Boutilier. We'll return to the Coliseum in a moment. Islanders lead 5. Jim Schoenfeld in behind the Buffalo bench. Not too happy at this point. 12:55 left in the second period. Islanders have opened up a 3-goal lead, 5-2. Face-off in Islander territory. Foligno clearing it behind the net. Diduck goes after it, clearing it up and over the Islander blue line, where Dykstra has control. Shoots it right back into the Islander zone. Billy Smith now leads it for Diduck. He was called up from the American Hockey League. They needed some toughness back in defense. Diduck will try and give it to them. 67 minutes in penalties in the 21 games he played in the American League. Here now, Flatley trying to move in on goal. He's unmolested, trying to get in. Unable to. Now the pass comes to Ruff. He looks for some help. Gives it to Dykstra. Pushes it ahead for Foligno into the Islander zone. And it's cleared by Brent Sutter into the corner. Gillies now with Andrechuk. Loose puck. Foligno in behind the net against Diduck. They go to the boards. Click Gillies in there now. It's tipped off the back of the net by Andrechuk. Now cleared by Morrow. Dykstra was in deep. There's a long drive by Ruff. Fire that one off the glass. Gillies takes over. Now the pass. Gives it to Diduck. Dumps it to Sutter. Picked off by Brent Sutter. Now the pass to the forward. Great sliding save there by Andrechuk before the puck got to Gillies. Now Dykstra up to the Islander line. Will shoot it in. And Buffalo will make a player change with 11:42 left in the second period. Up it comes to Pat Flatley down to the Buffalo line. In with Bob Bourne. He backhanded to the corner. Gilbert goes in. He bumps with Mike Ramsey. And the Sabres come back up the ice, led by Don Lever with the long shot in off the corner boards. And it's whistled down on the offside.
Now Buffalo with 20 shots on goal. The Islanders with 13. As we look at Randy Boyd from the Islanders back in the lineup tonight. He's coming back from an ankle injury. And the Islanders have made a lot of changes, Ted. I know they've tried to work in some of the youngsters as we look at a great defensive play by Andrechuk to get back and use that big long reach to his advantage to prevent that pass from going to Clark Gillies. But the Islanders have tried to work the youngsters into the lineup. You mentioned the fact that Bourne isn't playing a whole lot, along with Bobby Nystrom and Clark Gillies. And they have really received spot duty. And Al Arbor and, of course, general manager have tried to work the youngsters in, because this team is a team that's in transition. There's no question about that.
Now Boyd clearing it into the Buffalo zone. Tom Barrasso's taken over from Jacques Luce in goal. Here's Housley up in the left wing boards. Comes to center. Now Janssen working it to Gilbert. He's checked by Don Lever, who takes over and brings it back with Perreault trailing. In over the line. He gives it to Perreault. Perreault trying to move in front. Here's Hamel with the shot. Blocked. A nice sliding save by Randy Boyd. With the score, Islanders 5, Sabres 2. We'll return to the Coliseum on Long Island after this message.
Couple other games. New Jersey shocking the Flyers 7-1 in the second period. Pittsburgh has a 4-1 lead over Calgary in the second. Bullard a couple goals. None for Lemieux yet.
Gilbert Perreault in front of the net. You see the puck will go back to Lever, and a good defensive play by the Islander, or that was Gilles Hamel, excuse me, trying to let that shot go on Billy Smith. Buffalo with 20 shots on goal. The Islanders with 13, with the Sabres trailing 5-2 in this hockey game. You just have a feeling, Ted, if the Sabres can continue the pressure, they're going to score some more goals, because the Islanders are not playing very well in their own zone this evening.
Denis Potvin to Bossy. Clearing it off the glass to center. Lever pumps it right back into the Islander zone. Now Potvin behind the net. He is stopped in there. Loose puck comes to the side. Here's Hamel. He's tied up. Now cleared off the glass and back into the Buffalo zone. Mike Ramsey will go back after it. The Islanders will be called for icing with 10:30 now remaining here in this second period. Islanders 5 and the Buffalo Sabres 2. Tomorrow night, by the way, the Sabres will be at Madison Square Garden. Take on the New York Rangers. That will be radio coverage only on the WBEN radio network.
That's the big question around New York, Ted, is whether they're going to bring Pierre LaRouche up or not. For the Rangers, that's all you see in the papers around New York. Of course, the Rangers looking for more scoring punch. LaRouche is having a pretty darn good season in the minor leagues, and that's the question. They're wondering why he hasn't been up there.
Here's Hofford with a shot right on, and Billy Smith the save. Denis Potvin with the pass intended for Tonelli. Goes wide. Barrasso decides to play it up on the boards now, and gives it to Hughes. Jimmy Hofford on the ice for his first shift of the game, second shift rather. Playing back in defense, called up from Rochester as well 3 games ago. The puck cleared back into the Buffalo zone to Barrasso. Left it there for Playfair. Now Hughes trying to clear it. He squats it back to center. Diduck up to the line. Clears it into the Buffalo zone. Hofford moves into the corner, slaps it away, and it's cleared on by Hughes into the Islanders zone. Diduck will go back after it with 9:44 to go, and we shall return to the Coliseum on Long Island right after this.
Minnesota leads Detroit 2-0 in the first. Winnipeg a 2-1 leader over St. Louis in the first.
Face off of the Buffalo zone into the right of Barrasso. 9:43 left in the second period. 5-2 Islanders lead. LaFontaine against Tucker. Tucker wins the draw. Gets it back in behind the net into Housley with the long pass up the center ice area. But it's whistled down at the Buffalo blue line by linesman Dan McCourt.
And John Tucker receiving a little more ice time as of late, and he's responded very well for Buffalo. There was a stage there where he was only playing the power plays, but last game against the Nordique, and then here tonight he's been playing on a regular line out there with Anderson on one side and Perreault on the other right now.
On the draw, it comes back into Mike Ramsey. He clears it now for Housley. Ahead to Tucker. Missed the pass. It slides into the Islanders zone. Billy Smith leaving it for Kenny Morrow. Off the boards. Ramsey took a swipe at it and missed it. And the puck comes all the way back into the Buffalo zone. LaFontaine chasing Housley up to Mike Ramsey to center. Housley's there, slaps it away. Morrow takes over. Back at his own blue line. Up on the right side for Hamway. Down that right wing boards and clears it on into the Sabres zone. Housley for Anderson. He's bumped. Perreault tries to get to it, but it's taken by Morrow. Now Ramsey with Hamway. Tucker has it. Here's the pass intended for Perreault. Slides into the Islanders zone. Diduck going back to touch it. And the Buffalo Sabres are called for icing. We'll return to the Coliseum in just a moment with the Islanders leading by a 5-2 score. Buffalo zone into the left to Barrasso. On the draw. Comes back now to Jonsoon. Jonsoon winds up with the screen shot of Barrasso. The save. Tipped away by Andrechuk over the line. Now back with it is Brent Sutter. Into the Buffalo zone. He's got Gillies in front. The pass to Gillies. Barrasso the save, and then the backhand shot of the side of the net hit the side of the net as Barrasso coming up big a moment ago. Playfair brings it back over the blue line. Gets to center. Tips it into the Islanders zone. Boyd took a whack at it with the glove. Missed it. Now clears it around the boards. It's stopped to the point now by Dykstra. There's his long shot that goes wide. It'll be taken on the boards by Flatley. He sends it on into the Buffalo zone. Barrasso raises the hand to indicate icing for Steve Dykstra, and the Islanders are called for icing with 8:06 remaining to play here in the second period. Steve Dykstra also played was in Rochester last year. And there's a look at Clark Gillies.
Now, we mentioned the fact a little bit earlier that Gillies just seeing spot duty lately, but what a great opportunity and what a fine save. A well-executed play that was Brent Sutter to Gillies in front of the net. And look at that stop by Barrasso. Just great anticipation and robbing Clark Gillies on a deflection about 10 feet in front of the net.
You know, you can join the Buffalo Sabres Booster Club. They have an information booth in the Terrace Street lobby on game nights at the auditorium. Booster Club meets monthly on the second Tuesday of each month at the Airways Hotel at 7:30. Guests are welcome at all meetings. The next meeting for the Buffalo Sabres Booster Club, mark it down, Tuesday, January the 14th. Face off in the Islanders zone. But they whistle the play down. They'll do it again. 21 shots for Buffalo, 15 for the Islanders.
Well, Sabres trying to make a late change, but the referee says no way, so it'll be Playfair and Dykstra still back in the points.
Here's Foligno, the drive, it hit a leg, and Smith clears at it. Bob Bourne gets it off the boards. Loose puck at center. Knocking it ahead now. Flatley couldn't get anywhere. Now Ruff at center. Recovered by Foligno. Skates in over the Islander line, trying to move in. Here he goes into the corner, side of the net, dumped it in front. A loose puck. Housley in after with the shot. Smith came out and made the save. There's going to be a penalty now coming up. A penalty going to the Islanders. When we return, it'll be Buffalo on the power play. From the Coliseum of Long Island, you're watching Sabres hockey on TV2. Clark Gillies has gone for tripping at 12:21. The Buffalo going to the power play with the face-off in the Islanders zone. Tucker, Anderson, Gardner, Gilbert, Perreault, and Housley. Gardner goes to center. 10 of his 20 goals in Rochester. Gardner this year scored in the power play. They go to the corner. Here's Gardner now coming up with it. Has it in the corner. He tips it in. Gently to Tucker, back to Gardner. Works it to the left point to Housley. Steps away from one, gets it back into Tucker. Here it comes to Housley with the long shot. Tip, loose puck. Gardner trying to get to it. He's tied up, and he does, and he works it back into Tucker into the corner. Buffalo on the power play. They're down by 3 goals. Tucker to the side of the net. Here's Gardner, a backhand drive. The save, Smith, and then Gardner as he went to the ice trying to poke it in under a fallen Billy Smith.
Another good stop by Smith, but they say that Gardner, Ted, has just been awesome on the power play for the Rochester Americans this year, and you can see why. Just a couple of opportunities, first of all, on a deflection, and on that particular case, trying to come out from behind the net as we watch Tucker set it up. A good quick move. Billy Smith trying to stick check that puck off the stick of Gardner, and he very nearly slipped it up, or slipped it underneath Billy Smith's left pad. Now Gardner with a couple of good chances here in the power play.
Face off in the Islander zone. Here's Tucker trying to work it back to Housley against Trottier. Housley on the boards, but Trottier has it, gets it over the line. Perreault has to take it back. Give it quickly now to Housley. Anderson let it go to the far side. Perreault steps it over the line, along the line. Left it. Here's Anderson trying to work it on goal. The drive blocked in there. Housley, and it's cleared to the glass. That comes over the line. Perreault.
Trottier is going to go.
Trottier will go. Perreault comes in over the line, works it back now to Housley. He just takes the shot to get the whistle, so the Sabres will have a 2-man advantage for 59 seconds. Yes. Gillies is in the penalty box right now for tripping. And now Trottier also gets the nod.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good penalty by Trottier. He just actually kicked the skates out from underneath Mikhail Anderson, just outside that Buffalo blue line, and Morrow was right there to make the call. So Buffalo now with a great opportunity, trailing 5-2 in this hockey game, to get right back in it.
6:38 left in the second period. Speaking of Paul Gardner a moment ago, I'm sure his father Cal Gardner is watching from Toronto tonight. Cal, of course, had a great career with the Boston Bruins, a fine player in the NHL, and I used to see Cal an awful lot. He used to come down to Buffalo, and the two Gardner boys were in the National Hockey League, but he doesn't come around anymore. I guess there's a reason.
I can remember. I can remember collecting his hockey card when I was a youngster.
Oh my goodness, he won't like that.
Oh, well.
Here's Andrechuk into the circle. Now Andrechuk backs up to the boards, gets it back to Housley, over to Perreault. 2-man advantage for Buffalo. Here's BUF now, right to the goal crease. Smith makes the save there with that left pad and holds on. 40 seconds left in the penalty to Clark Gillies.
Hey, you were talking back in the first period, Ted, about the fact the Sabres scored 3 power play goals against the Quebec Nordique the other night as we look at Buffalo set it up. But what they were doing, they were moving the puck very quickly, and this is just a little bit too slow. You have to move the puck a little bit quicker than what Buffalo is doing right there, particularly when you have a 2-man advantage, because what happens is the quicker you move the puck, that means that the opposition has to react to it. And anytime you can get the other team moving, they're going to get themselves out of position.
On the draw, comes back. Here's Perreault winding up with the drive, but it was deflected. Housley moves into the corner, sends it back in behind the net. Mikhail Anderson back to Perreault, winds up, gets it over to Housley, side of the net, the pass in front. Oh, knocked down there. But Tucker with a cross check back to Perreault. Tucker's lying face down in front of Billy Smith.
He was really wiped out by Denis Potvin, and that's one area I don't think they give Potvin enough credit. He is one tough defenseman when he wants to be, and he really knocked down Tucker in front of the net. Watch this, just a good solid cross check from behind, and of course you're going to stand in front of the net. That's what you have to expect, and Potvin, if he has the opportunity to hit you in that area, he will do it. And look at it again, Buffalo with good movement on this occasion. And Tucker just ready to shoot the puck by Billy Smith, but he really never had an opportunity to do that as Potvin hit him from behind.
23 seconds, and Gillies will step back on for the Islanders. 5-2 Islanders lead. 6 minutes and 2 seconds left in the second period. Housley carries it into the Islanders zone, left it there at the point. Gardner's now back on for Buffalo. Here's Housley working it to Perreault. On the side of the net, but he didn't get a good pass to Mikhail Anderson. Now gives it to Andrechuk. Back into Anderson. 8 seconds and Gillies will be on. Here's Housley trying to get the shot. The pass went off the pad of Billy Smith. Here's Perreault now trying to get that shot away to the side of the net to Andrechuk. The backhand drive. And Smith again coming up big. He's not too happy over that. He feels he had the puck smothered. And the players were jabbing away trying to get it loose from underneath Billy Smith.
Now he's going to get a penalty too. And you see him throw his arms up in the air, and Morrow calling I don't know whether for slashing, I would think, as Billy Smith took a swing at somebody. I think that was Andrechuk standing to the left of the Islander net. But you can see what's happening. Buffalo on the power play just getting shots from the angles, as you see Andrechuk. And most goaltenders in the NHL should make the stop. Let's see if we can pick up the penalty now. Watch Billy Smith. There he goes. He's just poking somebody with a stick.
Well, Gardner went in to try to get it free. Then he was hit from behind and knocked into Smith. So I suppose Smith thought.
14-26.
Well, he still can't believe it, but you know, any referee in the NHL, Ted, is going to look for him for situations like that.
Smith goes for slashing. 14-26. Looking at it again.
He really had no cause to really swing at anyone. The Islander defense had things well under control in front of the net. And Billy Smith again just a little bit overly aggressive.
So again, Buffalo will have a two-man advantage now for 56 seconds. So long Trottier has to serve in his penalty. Islanders leading by 3 goals.
Well, Al Arbour is about ready to come out onto the ice. You see him with one leg up on the Islander bench. What the Islanders are doing here too, Denis Potvin and with Brent Sutter, just trying to buy some time.
Gilbert going over to talk to the referee. There's a look at Al Arbour. Believe it or not, he used to wear those glasses playing in the National Hockey League. Maybe not the same glasses, but he wore glasses.
Well, his nickname was Radar, and they call him that because of the fact that he did wear glasses. He was the first player in the National Hockey League ever to do that, but also because he used to block so many shots. He probably was one of the greatest shot blockers ever in the history of the National Hockey League.
Here we go. Buffalo with a two-man advantage. Face off in the Islanders zone with Billy Smith being nailed for slashing. Perreault works it over to Housley. There's the shot. Blocked. A good sliding save there by Randy Boyd. Perreault has to chase it back into the Buffalo zone. 47 seconds left on this two-man advantage for Buffalo as Housley carries it back to center. Up into the Islanders zone. Now gives it to Andrechuk. Back to Housley. He's got Perreault on the far side. Gives it to Andrechuk. Here's Housley's pass over to Perreault. Up over the blade of his stick. Foligno's in front of the net. Here's Perreault. Side of the net now to Ruff. Ruff jamming at it at the side. Andrechuk comes up with it. Into the corner. Now works it back to Perreault. Perreault trying to get in to get the shot. Goes to the side to Andrechuk. Oh, to Foligno. Missed the pass in the goal crease. And now with 16 seconds left. Here's Housley. Winding up. Takes the shot. Now lets the drive go. Deflects over the glass and into the crowd. Jim, I don't know. I'm getting the impression that they're trying to work it in too close to get the shot away.
No, absolutely. The Buffalo should be just shooting that puck from the points. They're not getting any shots at all from Housley and Perreault in that instance, who are playing the point. And you need players in front of the net to get position and draw a crowd, screen the goaltender. And the Sabres just unable to do it. You see a real battle going on in front of the net between Randy Boyd and Lindy Ruff. But that's what you try and do. You try and tie up a defenseman, screen the goaltender, just cause all kinds of havoc in front of the opposition net. And Buffalo's not doing that. And then trying to get the puck back to the point and have the pointman shoot it.
10 seconds. Trottier will step back on. Then 1:14 right now left in that minor penalty to Smith, and on the draw Jonsoon clears it into the Buffalo zone. 4:42 left in the second period. And now the Sabres are one man short for 1 minute, or one man advantage for 1 minute as Housley wraps it around the boards. Trottier had it knocked away by Tucker. One hands it now to Housley. Gardner's on. It comes back, and here go the Islanders. Bourne looks back. Got Jonsoon with him. Jonsoon breaks towards the net, but Perreault back to take it away from Bob Bourne. Anderson on the far side. Tips it ahead to Gardner at center. He comes into the Islander zone. Left it for Anderson. Trying to move in to get the shot. Over to go to Tucker on the deflection. He couldn't get a shot. Back it comes now to Dykstra at the blue line. Back in now to Tucker. 28 seconds left in the Buffalo power play. Back it comes to Tucker again. Sabres need a goal to go back into this game before the end of the second period. Deflects in front. They clear it, but not out. Dykstra keeping it in. Then he lost it. Now Gilbert shoots it in with only 14 seconds left in the Buffalo power play. The Islander fans giving the team an ovation here for holding off the Sabres. And they had a two-man advantage. Foligno comes into the Islander zone. He's checked from behind. Mike Ramsey bumps into Boyd. That's it. The Islanders are back at full strength. We'll return to the Coliseum in a moment. You're watching Sabres hockey on TV2. Ted Darling with Jim Lorenz and Ed Kilgore at the Coliseum on Long Island. The Islanders did a great job in holding off the Sabres, Jim.
Well, you talk about weakness against weakness. The New York Islanders at home, penalty killing, are ranked 20th in the National Hockey League. And Buffalo on the power play on the road are ranked dead last, just 8.6%.
Now Bossy.
And it certainly looked like it on that particular occasion.
Here's Tonelli into the Buffalo zone. Goes to the forehand. Gets it back to Trottier. Looks back. Tipped away. Here's Hamel. He's trying to break. He'll be cut off now by two Islanders, but lets the shot go, and Smith makes the save and holds on. Oh, look at that. Puts the stick out as if, hey, don't come near me, fella. Oh, Billy. Probably enjoys it. From his island in the St. Lawrence. He has a cottage. An island in the St. Lawrence.
There's Gilles Hamel with a good play to anticipate that pass back from Trottier. Not much danger of scoring from there.
Face off in the Islanders zone. Potvin. Here's Hamel one-handing it wide. Now Hughes into the corner. 3 minutes now remaining in the second period. Trottier sends it behind the net. Denis Potvin works it up to Trottier with a good pass. Broken up by Lever. Dykstra turns back up and flips it into the Islander zone. Recovered now by Hamel. He fakes the shot. He gives it to Lever. There's the drive, but he shot that one wide. Tonelli on the far board. The pass intercepted by Mike Ramsey. He just flips it right back into the Islander zone. Potvin. Buffalo makes a player change in the fly. The puck comes into the Buffalo zone. There goes Bossy racing after it. Bossy the backhand drive, but he shot that one wide. Tonelli keeping it in. Ramsey around the boards. Here's Tonelli with it at the side of the net, but back to get it is Andrejchuk. 5-2. Islanders lead. 2:14 to go. 3-on-3. Cleared by Andrejchuk wide of the Islander net. Cleared by Billy Smith. Taking it to the right wing boards. It's Brent Sutter. Rink wide pass too far for Gillies. Here's Barrasso coming way out. Clearing it into the Islander bench area on the far side. Now with 2:01 left here in the second period.
Reading in the paper today, Ted, about Mike Bossy, and I thought it was very interesting what he had to say. And I never heard a player before say it. He said he didn't like playing against big goaltenders, and that he felt intimidated by them. He said it shouldn't be that way because I don't always look at them when I'm shooting. But he was remembering back to the first game he ever played against Kenny Dryden, and he said it looked like he was covering the whole net, that there was nothing to shoot at. And I had never heard a player say that before about big goaltenders being intimidating.
Now Playfair moves into the corner. He tries to clear it against Flatley. Gets it around the board. Ruff is there. Now for Playfair again. Up on the left wing boards. Here's Andrejchuk at center up into the Islander line. Fakes the shot. Gets around. Boyd couldn't control it. There's a pass in front as Ruff was knocked down to the side of the Islander net. Flatley comes back now. At center, the pass over to Gillies, tipped away. Here's Housley rushing down the right side into the Islander zone. With the quick high drive, he wrapped it in behind the Islander net. Comes back to the left point now. Brent Sutter. He fires it to his brother Duane, to Flatley, going in on goal. The pass tipped away by Housley. By Barrasso, rather, and then it's cleared back into the Islander zone with 1:05 left in the second period. Now the pass up on that right side. Duane Sutter in over the line. Back to Flatley. Lost it. Perro cleared it back over the blue line. Morrow goes back after it. 53 seconds left to play in the second period. 5-2 Islanders lead. Onto the stick of Duane Sutter into the quarterback to the point to Morrow. The drive, and it hit Tucker. Tucker comes up with it, kicked out by Perro. 42 seconds. Here he comes into the Islander zone with Mikael Anderson. Tucker races towards the front of the net. Here's Perro now on the far boards, trying to get it in front. Mike Ramsey works in there, goes to the far boards, gets it into the corner now for Anderson. Loose puck. 28 seconds. It's picked off by Pat LaFontaine. Comes back quickly down the right side at center. One hand. Here goes LaFontaine right in on goal all alone. At the goal post, he scores. 6-2, the Islanders lead. What a
play.
What a burst of speed there by LaFontaine.
I know Pat LaFontaine once scored 104 goals, 130 assists, playing for Verdun for 234 points. Just a beautiful play on Tom Barrasso. Great speed by Pat LaFontaine. As you see the play develop in the New York Islanders zone. Now he'll give it to Makela, and Makela will give it right back to him. But Pat LaFontaine, while playing with Verdun, broke a lot of records that Guy Lafleur and Mike Bossy set. And he's headed for future stardom in the National Hockey League.
His second goal of the game, and his 17th of the season, to put the Islanders into a 6-2 lead with 18 seconds now remaining in the second period. Dykstra down the left side, clears it high into the air, gloved by Billy Smith. Jonsoon has it, and they've got into a 4-goal lead over Buffalo. Now Barrasso playing it in behind the net. Here's Bossy with a shot, but the horn goes to end the second period as Pat LaFontaine with his second goal of the game and his 17th of the year, putting the Islanders into a 4-goal lead in the late stages here of the second period. Shots on goal after 2 periods. Buffalo 31, Islanders 17. We'll be back with our second intermission coming up in a moment from the Coliseum of Long Island. You're watching Sabres hockey on TV2. 6-2 in the second period. It was Flatley, his 10th of the year, at 5:15. Then Jonsoon made it 5-2. Pat LaFontaine with the second goal of the night, 17th of the year, made it 6-2. Shots on goal, Buffalo 14, Islanders 9 total after 2 periods. 31 for Buffalo, 17 for the Islanders. And we are ready now for this third period. Both teams starting the third period at full strength. And Andreychuk in against Brent Sutter, and it comes back now on the left side. Boutilier sends it to the far boards. Ruff's in there. Puck on the far boards near the Islander bench area, and they hold it there. Our next TV2 telecast will be on New Year's Eve from Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo as the Sabres host the Boston Bruins. Game time from the yacht is 7:30. That's the Sabres and the Bruins right here on TV2, the Sabres station.
Buffalo obviously will try and get a quick goal, trailing 6-2. They've had all kinds of chances in that Islander zone, but just unable to put too many by Billy Smith.
Here's Ruff with a long shot that goes in behind the net. Around to the left side, Gillies can't clear it. Housley keeps it in. Here's Ruff, a pass back to the line. It's tipped over the line, back in then, and here come the Islanders with the pass on that right side. On the far boards, Gillies on the backhand. The shot went wide. Boutilier to keep it in now for the Islanders. Gillies with the pass. He gets it back now, gives it to Flatley. The puck going to the far boards. Then after it now goes Brent Sutter. He sends it back in behind the Buffalo net. Foligno takes over. Into the corner for Buffalo. Works it back to Sutter. It's blocked by Boutilier. Islanders with a 4-goal lead as we start the third period. Islanders and Buffalo both making changes. That's Ramsey. Gives it to Foligno. The pass to Mikael Anderson into the Islanders zone. He's bumped off the puck. It's cleared. Again, Buffalo makes the change defensively. Now back for the Tonelli into the Buffalo zone. Dykstra takes it away right in front of his own net. With the pass on the right side. Too far for Perreault. Trottier breaks it up. Puck going high into the air. Comes down to Perreault. Now to the Islander line with Tucker trailing. Here's Perreault with a shot. Off the glass. Comes to the side of the net. In behind the net. Anderson moves in. He tries to send it in front and knocked it off the base of the net in Morrow. And it's cleared up on the right side. Back into the Buffalo zone. Dykstra will go in after it. Shoots it to center. Gives it to Anderson. The pass over to Perreault. Buffalo making a change as Perreault comes back to the Islander line. Was knocked down by Boyd. Tucker keeps it in. Here's Housley stopping on the boards now. Anderson into the corner. LaFontaine after him. Tucker's there against Jonsoon. Housley gets it back now to Perreault. Back into Housley. Here's a quick shot. Stepping in front of it was Boyd. Looks up the ice with the long pass, but it's broken up by Housley. Out of the Islander line. Stopping with the pass to the far board. The shot by Lever kicked away by Billy Smith and up into the crowd. We'll return to the Coliseum of Long Island in a moment with the Islanders leading by 6-2.
Out of town, New Jersey leads the Flyers 7-2 in the third. Pittsburgh a 4-2 leader over Calgary in the third.
Face off in the Islanders zone. Here's the pass over the line. Kicked out by LaFontaine. Goes into the Buffalo zone. Mike Ramsey going to retrieve it. looks up the ice with the pass over the blue line, but Denis Potvin works it now to Duane Sutter, slides it back into Boutilier to Denis Potvin. Ahead, and Mike Ramsey had lined up Mark Hamway, but missed him. Now Lever with the pass to Hughes. Leaves it for Mike Ramsey. Back inside his own line. Here's the pass. Hamel kicked out. It's a two-line pass, and they whistle it down. You can go to the phone right now. There's some great games coming up at Memorial Auditorium. You can go to the phone and call using your MasterCard, Visa, or American Express. Ticket personnel standing by to the end of this game. Now the Bruins are here coming up on this Sunday at Memorial Auditorium. Also on December the 26th, the Rangers will be in Buffalo. The Islanders on December the 29th, and the Bruins again on December the 31st. So these tickets for the next 10 games are on sale at Memorial Auditorium's box office right now. You can order over the phone. Ticket personnel standing by to the end of the game. Face off inside the Buffalo blue line. Andreychuk now giving it to Dykstra. We've played 3 minutes into the third period. 6-2 Islanders lead. Dykstra plays it to the right wing boards. Andreychuk flips it on into the Islanders zone to Billy Smith, leaving it for Morrow. He fired it off the glass. Now it comes back into the Buffalo zone. Play fair. Now for Dykstra. Here's Foligno. Back with Ruff to the Islander line. Fakes the shot into the corner. Trying to work it in front. A backhand drive, and Smith makes the save on that short side.
Remington Steel, which is normally seen at this time on TV2, can be seen next Tuesday night at its normal time. That's 10 o'clock next Tuesday night for Remington Steel.
Mike Foligno, and I looked at Billy Smith, almost pulled off the post on this particular backhand. Foligno really unable to get a whole lot on it. The Sabres pressing and trying to score early, trailing 6-2. They have fired 33 shots at Billy Smith. The Islanders 17, the combination of Jacques Cloutier and Barrasso.
Someone who doesn't want to be on TV, maybe she should be somewhere else tonight.
Now this is a packed house here at the Coliseum. Everybody's waiting for Potvin to.
That's right.
At one extra point, and if he does, this place will absolutely go crazy.
Face off into the left now. The Islander net on the draw. It's recovered by Boyd. Here he comes with Bourne on his right. The pass to Bourne against Housley. Getting it back, and Mikael Anderson is there. Now kicked out and kept in by Makela. Back to the line. Jonsoon keeping it in for the Islanders. Went off the leg of the referee. There's the pass. Gilbert, the drive there. Barrasso, the save. Another save. Oh, that it was right to the goal crease and slapped away by Housley at the last moment. Now Gilbert keeping it in now for the Islanders. In behind the net. Offered. Here's it around for McKenna against Gilbert. Gilbert is knocked to the ice. Now McKenna feeds it to Tucker up to the Islander line. Mikhail Anderson is trailing, gives it to Anderson. Is taken by Housley. There's the pass in front. Oh, Smith makes the save, and McKenna now Anderson tried to go to the backhand into the corner. Bourne in behind the net. McKenna after him. Boyd comes up with it. Gets it off the boards. And Hofford runs into Gilbert, and the puck comes back into the Buffalo zone.
Good goaltending at both ends of the rink. First of all, Barrasso robbing Gilbert, and a good job by Billy Smith again on Buffalo in front of that Islander net.
Hughes taking a whack at a puck in the air, tried to get it in front. Now it's cleared. Trottier to Bossy to Potvin. They cheer as Potvin brings it in. Tried to get it to Trottier. Does. Back in now to Tonelli. It's back. Playfair plays it to the corner. Slaps at it. Hamel waiting for it on the far boards. Watched by Bossy. Bossy keeping it in. Onto the stick of Dykstra. Gets it over the line. Boston. Here comes Bossy. In now with Trottier. The pass over to Trottier. Barrasso the save. They score. Trottier and the rebound. On his own rebound. Puts it in. And he gets goal number 495.
Now this is the way it's been going for Buffalo tonight. Just a fine stop by Barrasso on the initial shot by Trottier, and then just watch the puck will come right back to him, and he just chips it back up over the fallen Buffalo goaltender. I think that was Dykstra, who was also lying in the crease, but Trottier converting again from Bossy, and what a game Bossy has had tonight for the Islanders.
And the Islanders open up a 5-goal lead over Buffalo, 7-2.
Islanders goal, his 12th of the season.
12th of the year.
Bryan Trottier.
Trottier.
The assist to number 22 by Bossy and number 27, Tonelli. The time of the goal.
I think I had said Bossy had scored that one. Now it comes back now to Ruff into the Islanders zone, trying to work it in front. Go to the far side. Here now is Andrechuk back at the line with a long shot. Cleared away by Billy Smith, gets it off the glass. Now cleared, but Andrechuk takes over. Morrow up to the Buffalo line, clearing it in wide to the Buffalo net. Barrasso leaving it there. Up now for Foligno. Here he comes at center. Left it there. Andrechuk steps to the line. Has to come back. Buffalo makes a change. Gets it over to Housley. Housley knocking it in. And it's recovered by Mark Hamway. He just gets it over the line. LaFontaine comes back to help. So Trottier with a goal to just widen the gap to 5 here for the Islanders here in the third period. With 13:45 to go. McKenna head on the left side for Gates Orlando. Coming back with it is Brent Sutter. Stopped over the line now by Playfair. Hamel comes in now with the shot that goes off the ankle of Jonsoon. Smith plays it around the boards. Playfair sends it back in behind the net. McKenna moves into the corner. Slapped at by Boyd. Hamel moves in there as well. Loose puck along the boards. Gillies clearing it. Here's the pass. Up now for Brent Sutter. Out of Gillies. Called to the offside at the Buffalo blue line. With the score, the Islanders 7, the Sabres 2. We'll return right after this message. Bossy had scored. It was Trottier, so Bossy remains at 494. And he is tied with Gilbert Perreault. Here comes Orlando trying to get in now against Boutilier. But the Islanders will break back down the right side. Gilbert to the line. It's broken up. Gilbert gets it again. Now to Denis Potvin. The fans here at the Coliseum would like Potvin to get his 916th NHL point, to go one ahead of Bobby Orr's league record for most points by a defenseman. And Boutilier go to the boards. He went in there. Now Bourne tries to clear it. Back now to Playfair with the shot. It goes off the glass. Now Hofford, he took a check. Here's Gilbert in there. It's now back in behind the net. Now Potvin. Orlando doing some bumping. Here's Orlando trying to get in to get the shot. He did. He scores! Gates Orlando makes it 7-3 as Orlando scores for Buffalo, and hard work there gets his 6th of the year.
Now that's it, Ted. Just hard work by Gates Orlando, and I think that's his first shift of the evening. But digging the puck out of the corner, and Denis Potvin just all over him, and just as he falls to the ice, he fires the puck by Billy Smith on the glove side. Great individual effort by Gates Orlando. Watch it again in the corner. He just outfights 2 Islanders, and Potvin just chops him down to the ice, and right there, Orlando falling all in one motion, just fired it, and it went by Billy Smith.
Housley back at the line. Here's Andrechuk.
6th of the season, scored by number 23. Gates.
Now kept in. Trottier with a chance for Bossy. Barrasso makes the save. Now Foligno.
Time of the goal, 7:46.
7:46 the time of that goal by Orlando. Hamel.
7:46.
Look at the linesmen on the bench.
Danny McCourt is right over. He's trying to call a line from in behind the boards. Here's Bossy now. Recovered by Playfair to Foligno with the slap shot, and Smith makes the save. Now Foligno with another drive. Here they try to work it in front of the net. It comes back, and Bossy recovers. Well, Dan McCourt, he was standing behind the boards of the Islander bench, still trying to make a call. Here it comes over to Trottier with the shot. Deflects off the stick of Ruff. Trottier keeping it in. Now trying to one-hand it in front. Ruff goes after him. Bossy's in there. Playfair. Tonelli. Comes to Andrechuk at the line. Over the blue line with Foligno and Housley as Andrechuk tipped it in. Buffalo will make a change. 11 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the third period. The Sabres down by 4 goals. Dykstra racing after it. There's it behind the net now for Hughes. His pass, giving it to Gardner, back to Hughes to the Islander line, trying to work in on goal, but he's checked, taken out of the play by Boyd. Now it goes to Duane Sutter to the right side to LaFontaine. Here's the pass. Hamway trying to work in, turns around, looks, tipped away by Lever, recovered by Gardner. Over the line it comes to Hughes. Heading out of Lever, missed it. It's tipped away.
You see, Gardner doesn't have a whole lot of speed, Ted, but boy, he sure knows what to do with it when he gets that puck. A lot of experience. He'll just take his time and make the good play most of the time.
Barrasso plays it into the corner. The pass in front. LaFontaine couldn't get it. Here comes Orlando. Gardner and McKenna into the Islander zone. Orlando couldn't get the shot, and oh, he was clotheslined almost by Denis Potvin. Hamway comes back in over the line, into the corner. Hofford's after him, and they whistle it down. With 10:02 to go here in this third period, you're watching Sabres hockey on TV2.
Now, Gates Orlando, I think this is the one where Potvin will really get a hold of him. You see the left arm, he actually sort of a half punch knocked him to the ice. But Denis Potvin is a tough, mean defenseman when he wants to be, and that's the second occasion tonight that he has used those tactics.
The Sabres will be in action tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden in New York. That game will be on the WBEN radio network, and the next TV game here on TV2 will come your way on New Year's Eve when the Boston Bruins take on the Sabres at Memorial Auditorium. Housley back inside the line. Now giving it to Hofford. The pass is blocked. It's tipped away. And Barrasso, believe it now for Housley. So the Sabres need some goals quickly if they hope to get it back into the game. There's going to be a penalty. Boutilier will go to the penalty box. Interference against Boutilier. When we come back, it'll be Buffalo on the power play. And you're watching Sabres hockey on TV2. Gone to the penalty box for interference at 10:23. Sabres go to the power play.
The Sabre power play has been less than sparkling, to say the least, this evening, but they'll try and get it going. And of course, in a situation like this, you try and work. They play tomorrow night against the Rangers, and you want to finish this game even if you do end up on the losing side of it on a positive note.
Now Perreault into the corner. It comes back to the point to Dykstra. There's his shot. Whistled that one off the glass. Housley back at the right point. He keeps it in for Buffalo now. Tries to move it in front of the net. Here's Housley winding up with the drive. Blasted that wide. Here's Perreault at the side. Gets it back to the line to Dykstra. Fakes the shot. Sends it into the corner. Gives it to Tucker. Buffalo working on the power play. Tucker in behind the net. Perreault couldn't gather it in. It comes back now to Housley. Gives it to Anderson. Side of the net to Perreault. Perreault looking. Gets it back to Housley. Tried to flip it over to Dykstra. Now it comes over to Perreault. Moves in on goal side. Oh, here's Anderson looking for his first NHL goal, but he's stopped by Billy Smith. Back to Housley. Quickly over to Dykstra. There's the drive. Right on Smith, the save, the score. Oh, wrapping it off the goal post was Tucker. Tucker knocked it off the post. Now Dykstra with a slap shot, but it goes wide on the deflection. Anderson into the corner. Now with 45 seconds left in the power play. Anderson moves into the circle now, side of the net, and he gives it to Tucker. Tucker works it back to Dykstra again, winding up with the slap shot. And off the boards behind the net again. Tucker works it in front. Oh, flipping it wide. Perreault on the backhand at an open net. Housley tried to work it in front, and the Islanders get it back to center.
Well, the difference this time is the fact that Buffalo's moving the puck quickly, and they're shooting it from the point. Dykstra with a couple of good opportunities, missing the net back there.
Foligno trying to get in a good move, then he lost it. Here comes Trottier with one man back, Lindy Ruff. 8 seconds left in the Buffalo power play. Now Bossy, the Islanders, Boutilier stepping back onto the ice to put the Islanders at full strength. 7-3, the Islanders lead. 7:33 to go. Bossy with a chance to blast there. Blocked by Ruff. Another shot. Tipped away by Ruff in behind the net. Foligno carrying it back over the line with Andrechuk and Gardner. Gardner knocking it off the glove of Foligno. Sends it back behind the net into the corner. 7:13 left to play in the third period. Gardner comes up with it. Tries to work in on goal. Good move. Gets by one. Gets it over now to Andrechuk. He tried to get it in. Loose puck, and somehow Billy Smith stops it in the goal crease. We'll return to the Coliseum in a moment with the Islanders leading 7-3.
Jim Schoenfeld in behind the Buffalo bench. Not too happy with the proceedings tonight.
Now, Dave Andrich, I watched this puck go actually in behind Billy Smith, and that was Potvin there to just shovel it back into the Islander goaltender. And Buffalo coming close again, but just unable to score any goals. They've had 38 shots on goal and have only managed 3 goals.
Here's Orlando into the corner. Less than 7 minutes remaining. Orlando trying to get away from Brent Sutter. Comes up to Duane Sutter. Pass goes off the skate of Diduck to Sutter. Now Playfair at center ice. Working it off the boards. Back into the Islanders zone. Billy Smith leaving it now for Jonsoon. 7-3. A 4-goal lead for the Islanders. Racing after it at center is Hamway. Into the Buffalo zone. He's got a break going right in on goal, but it's called on the offside with 6:26 remaining. I'd like to remind you people in Rochester that the Rochester Americans will be in action this Friday at home against Baltimore.
As we look at number 34, Hamway just actually outworking Larry Playfair, and Buffalo was fortunate that puck called on the offside.
As I mentioned, Baltimore will be in Rochester on Friday night. Darren Pupa has been sent down, so you'll get a chance to see Darren Pupa in goal on Friday night when the Amerks take on Baltimore. 7:30 start at War Memorial Auditorium at Rochester. Now Morrow back after it. Around the boards for Duane Sutter. He's hit and knocked down by a Hoppard. Now McKenna moves in there. Not getting it free, Hamel. He's being checked along the boards. Back it comes to Hoppard. Hoppard works it over now to Housley. Fakes the shot. Gets it back to Hoppard. They jam in front of the net. There's the shot. Right on. And Smith makes the save. Now the Islanders come back. Duane Sutter at center. The pass to Mark Hamway. Right in front to LaFontaine. But it's cleared by Barrasso. LaFontaine looking for a hat trick tonight. 5:38 left. Now Hamel runs into Duane Sutter. McKenna throwing it into the Islanders zone. Out comes to Boyd. Glove down by Dykstra inside the line. Hamel. Oh, he just fired it into the Buffalo bench area. We'll return to the Coliseum in just a moment here. 5:21 left. 7-3 Islanders lead.
Sundown, the day is long, working close to the land, gonna make it strong. Bring your thirsty self right here, you got the time, we got the beer. For what you have in mind, come on, it's Miller time.
The clean, smooth taste of Miller High Life. That's Miller time.
5:21 remaining here in this third period. Islanders 7, Sabres 3. In case you've joined us late here tonight, Jacques Cloutier started in goal for Buffalo. Tom Barrasso was hurt in the warm-up, and we did not get any word on what exactly happened, but Cloutier had to start. Then Barrasso took over from Cloutier later in the game. Now Ramsey in on the boards. The pass in front, tipped away. Jonsoon comes back for the Islanders. The pass to Clark Gillies into the Buffalo zone. On the far boards, Flatley. Dykstra taking him to the boards. Now it comes back to Gillies. The pass in front, and Brent Sutter couldn't get to it. Hughes moves it into the corner. Sends it off the boards, but Gillies is there to keep it in. Cleared away by Mike Ramsey back to center.
Now that was an excellent play a couple of moments ago. Mike Ramsey on Brent Sutter. Instead of playing the puck, he just went right to the Islander forward and took him out of the play.
Gardner into the corner. One hands it up to Hughes. Head to Don Lever at center. 4:25. Fakes the shot. Now shoots it in. Buffalo making a change.
You see Buffalo here in the third period. I don't think Perro's been on the ice, or if he has, it's been just at the start of the third period. So Schoenfeld obviously is thinking ahead to tomorrow night and giving some of the players who haven't had a whole lot of ice time some ice time here in the third.
Now Playfair and Bossy. Hoppard and Bossy go to the corner. Tonelli working it, trying to work it back. Back to Potvin. The drive that goes wide. And the fans are still hoping Potvin will pick up a point here tonight. Back it comes to center. Potvin at his own line. Out Tonelli. Here's the rink wide pass. Trottier picks it up. Into the corner, trying to move it by Playfair. Loose puck into the corner. Jim Hofford goes after it. He clears it around the boards. Trottier waiting for it. Now we had Hofford and Tonelli mixing it up at the side of the Buffalo net as the puck comes back into the Islanders zone with 3:24 to go. Anderson knocked it back to the Islander line. Now it's cleared. Taken by Tonelli. Ramsey going after him. They bump into the boards and Housley. Housley at center with the pass over to Anderson. Inside the line. He has stopped. Only 3 minutes to go here in the third period. As Perreault now giving it to Anderson. Pass comes back behind Perreault. Housley clearing it into the Islanders zone and tipped away by Morrow. Gilbert comes back. In over the line now. The pass. In there for Makela, but he missed it. Now Housley turning to get away from Makela right in front of his own net. Pass too far for Anderson. Jonsoon back at his own line. 2:27 to go. Islanders with a 4-goal lead. Here comes Jonsoon into the Buffalo zone. A loose puck cleared now. Hamway unable to get anywhere. Brings it back into his own zone. So the Buffalo Sabres will remain in 4th place, 4 points back of the Boston Bruins. Now the puck is cleared back into the Buffalo zone. Barrasso plays it for Larry Playfair. 2 minutes, that's all that's left here in the third period. Many of the fans have made their way towards the exits here at the Nassau Coliseum as the Islanders will end up with 32 points following this game tonight in 3rd place in the Patrick Division. Our next TV telecast will be on New Year's Eve from Memorial Auditorium in Buffalo, and that's when the Sabres will take on the Boston Bruins. And a game time from the odd is 7:30 right here on TV2. And it'll be the Tux and Pucks Classic, by the way. You can go to Tuxedo Junction, order Tux, and pay $19.86 and get 2 tickets to see the Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins in action. That's the Tux and Pucks Classic on New Year's Eve at the odd, and you'll be able to watch the game on TV2. If you're not going to the game, a 7:30 start.
Now LaFontaine now at center. He's looking for 3 goals tonight. And Denis Potvin, that roar you hear in the background is, I'm sure, both for LaFontaine and in particular for Potvin. They would like to see him score a goal or pick up an assist to move by Bobby Orr on the all-time scoring list for defensemen.
1:49 to go. Face off of the Buffalo zone into the right of Barrasso. Here's Potvin shooting, but it's blocked. Now a drive there, and it's tipped wide. Back to the far board. Playfair into the corner. Gets it back in behind the net. The pass right in front of backhand drive. Barrasso the save. Another shot in there by Hamway. Broken up. Dykstra back at center with Hughes on the right. Abel on the left into the Islanders zone. Loose puck. Lever goes after it. Picks it up into the corner. Turns in the boards with 1:25 left to play. Now to the far side. Hamway with it for the Islanders. Here's the pass intended for LaFontaine. Hamel has it with 1:13 now remaining. Cleared in, but Duane Sutter was coming back over the blue line, and it's an offside call.
Well, that was Donnie Lever who just tripped Duane Sutter way back in the Buffalo, in behind the Buffalo blue line, and of course Morrow didn't see it. But
it's interesting that the New York Islanders, as you look here at the play,
just some outstanding goaltending by Barrasso. He makes one stop and he's going to get up. I don't think we'll see it on the replay, but he will make another one.
It's interesting. The Islanders have played to 8 ties. They've been in 11 overtime games, the most overtime games in the league. They've won 2, lost 1, and tied 8, whereas the Sabres have been involved in 3 overtime games. 1 minute remaining as the Buffalo Sabres. Lindy Ruff steps in over the line. He was checked, and the Sabres' next start will be tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden against the Rangers. There's a long drive, gloved by Billy Smith. And following tomorrow night's game, they'll be in Montreal Saturday night and to be home against the Boston Bruins on Sunday night.
Now, that was a 40th shot on Billy Smith. You know, he holds a number of playoff records. We look at it again, but he holds playoff records for the most games, 130, most minutes played, 7,500 minutes, and most wins in the playoffs, 88. Now, what a career Billy Smith has had.
Well, the Sabres, I'm sure, will hope to get Bill Height back in the lineup tomorrow night. Sabres one player over the limit. Bill Height did make the trip, but he did not see action here tonight. Of course, so also sidelined. Rick Sealing with the groin, Sear with the groin, Fenfis with a back sprain, Bob Halkitis a dislocated shoulder, and Chris Langevin, of course, also on the sidelines after knee surgery. 41 seconds left here in the third period as Potvin chases it back in behind the net. Unless Potvin can pick up a point in the next 30 seconds, the Islander fans are going to have to wait to break that, set a new record. Most points by a defenseman set by Bobby Orr. Here's Andrechuk trying to move it in front. 21 seconds to go. Andrechuk in behind the net with it again. Potvin goes after him. Taken by Bob Bourne. Cleared over the line. 13 seconds to go. Uh-oh, Ruff's going back to have a few words with Billy Smith. If you remember a few years ago in the playoffs, it was Billy Smith who butt-ended Lindy Ruff right below his eye, and I'm sure Ruff remembers that.
Well, the thing about that was, too, Ted, I remember that well. Of course, Lindy, fortunately, was not seriously injured, but he actually jumped on top of Billy Smith and really could have beat him up very badly and just simply let up on him. And I think Smith should be very thankful for that. And see if we can pick it up. I did not see it. Look at Smith just swinging that big goal stick around. And Andrechuk. That was rough. That moved through the crease. I guess that's where the confrontation took place. But I was going to say, Andrechuk has had a couple of very good chances tonight, and he has picked up his game, I think, over the course of the last 2 or 3.
12 seconds left here in the third period and in the game. Face-off will be inside the Islander blue line. And following tonight's game, the Sabres will move on to New York City, stay in a hotel in New York tonight, and watch the people in the zoo tomorrow before going to the game. It's cleared off the boards back into the Buffalo zone. Dykstra going back after it. And it's called icing with 3 seconds now remaining. Somebody was mentioning today from the press room, Jim, the fact that we had so much snow up there today, and they said, boy, I would want to live up there with all that snow. I said, listen, you got more people down here than we have. We have more snow. I'd rather have the snow.
Oh, me too. I mean, everybody criticizes Buffalo, but I mean, there are other places in the country that are just as cold and get just as much, if not more, snow than Buffalo does.
I hear that they got 6 more inches up in Buffalo today. Well, we left early this morning. Here now is Hamel with a long drive just as the horn goes to end the game. The New York Islanders and the Buffalo Sabres meeting for the first time this season. And they'll meet twice more. The Islanders winning it here at the Nassau Coliseum. Shots on goal, Buffalo 42 and the Islanders 24. And the final score from the Coliseum at Long Island, the New York Islanders 7 and the Buffalo Sabres 3.
Tonight's OV player of the game is forward Mike Bossy with a goal and 3 assists tonight for the Islanders. Bossy with an NHL record 8 straight 50-goal seasons, 4 of those seasons 60 or more goals. And for being selected the OV player of the game, Mike Bossy receives a 1-ounce Canadian Maple Leaf gold coin courtesy of Carling O'Keefe, Brewers of OV.
Kenny and Dolly, a Christmas to remember.
A Christmas to remember. Springtime feelings in the middle of December. Strangers leave and willingly surrender. Oh, wow.
Christmas. It's the one time of the year that fantasy and reality can mix and mingle without any conflict.
It's a time when wishes come true, dreams are fulfilled, magical things happen, and nothing is judged to be too solemn or too silly.
Well, if anybody in this world was ever born to play Santa Claus, it was you, Kenny. You don't even need a fake beard.
I thought you were going to say Patty.
Oh, judge not, lest you be judged. I always say that.
You always say